Alright, are we good? Looks like we're good. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is Wednesday, January something. I don't remember. Anyways, how's everyone doing? It is going to be another holiday for me because guess what? Tomorrow is actually going to be snowing in Texas. If you don't know, in Texas if it starts snowing, there's going to be ice. So everything gets shut down unless you're in emergency. But yeah, it's pretty much a free holiday for me today. Not that I don't care about it. Whoa. That's strange. I don't know if my stove is going to explode because it never made this noise before. Holy crap. Huh. Well, as long as it works, it's fine. It's kind of annoying though. Hey, hello, 1VSST4Z. Hello. You're the first one on chat. Usually I just start cooking, but welcome. Happy Wednesday, by the way. Yes, I am going to talk about why I don't like wintertime. I guess that is the topic for tonight. There's something wrong with my stove. Huh. Well, that never happened. I've used this stove for like 5 years, and that's the first time I ever heard that noise. But I guess it's okay now. I honestly thought that was going to explode on me. Okay, still heat, so we're all good. Anyways, back to the topic on hand. I know some of you told me yesterday that you guys like winter. I don't know why. Maybe you get to cuddle up with your sister, your dog, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom. Doesn't matter. Hey, Ivy. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, your name sounds familiar, yet I feel like I know you. Welcome back. I know usually I do. I usually do whatchamacallit, games, but right now I'm more comfortable just cooking something, as you obviously can see. But don't worry, I'll be back to playing games soon, because I know that's what everyone's been craving. Just gotta understand, due to some tragedy in my life that happened about 3 weeks ago, that I'd still need some time to recover. And right now, cooking and chatting with you guys is what makes me feel good about myself. So in other words, you guys are gonna be my therapist. One way or another, I'll have to get over myself, of course. But thanks for coming in. Anyways, I think really started when did I start hating winter? Now that I think about it, when did I start hating winter? Let's go back to my childhood. I would say I never had much of a winter when I was in China, because that's where I grew up. I was there in China. I was born in the very southern part, so think of like where Vietnam and Thailand is. We're basically just a couple hour drive away. So if you don't know that area, it's very hot, it's very humid, especially like during the very hot summertime. I know this is sometimes in Vietnam. People basically don't even go into the rice field because it's so hot. Instead, they wait until like in the middle of the night and to go pick up to, gather the rice and stuff, because it's so bloody hot and humid. So I never really experienced much winter. Sure, it does get kind of cold, but I never had a winter in China. And then of course I moved to Texas, which, it's a lot less colder than, say, Canada or New York. But holy crap, I didn't know what to expect. I don't like cold for obvious reason other than that it's goddamn freezing. If you had a choice between whether you'd rather be miserably hot or miserably cold, I wonder which one you guys would pick. I know I would personally pick hot, because you know what? I can at least turn on the AC. Where it's during the winter time, I have to turn on the heater. But here's the kicker. When you turn on the heater, think about it. It gets really, really dry, don't you think? Heater makes your room dry, where AC doesn't. And plus, most of the fun activities happens in the summertime when it's hot, right? You get to see girls naked in the pool, or in the bikinis or whatever. If you're a girl, you get to see hot guys in Speedo or whatever. When in the wintertime, everyone's all cozied up. You don't want to go outside, right? Because it's freezing. It's usually cloudy. It's, you know, it's cloudy. And it's miserable. Some of you might disagree and say, well, what about Christmas and all that crap? Look, Christmas is good, but guess what? It's only one day or a few days. Maybe if you're into Hanukkah and stuff, out of the entire year. I'd rather get the whole entire summer than having to just deal with one Christmas. I don't need presents. I know Santa's not real. Okay? And it's questionable what he does. Fat old man lives in the North Pole using questionable labors to make our plastic toys to pollute the environment, and then breaking into people's house to giving them gifts in exchange for milk and cookies. We don't believe in Santa Claus, of course, in China. It's more of a fad thing. We don't really have Christmas until, you know, America took over. It's just snowed a lot where you are? Really? Don't tell me where you are, but maybe you're somewhere in... He has a chance of breaking and entering. That's what I figured too. Because when I first heard the concept of Santa Claus, okay, he lives in the North Pole with his wife, potentially wife, and he owns all these slave elves, right? Say what you want, but they're basically working for probably arguably minimum wage, okay? And then you have a naughty list. So in other words, he's a slave owner. Santa is a slave owner. One sec. This is how I cook salmon, by the way. Usually I just pop it in an oven, but obviously I don't have my oven on. So I use this. This is called basting. If you are curious, trust me, if you can cook a piece of steak or even a piece of salmon for dinner, you're gonna have guests over. If you want to get a date over, say I got a piece of salmon for you, I got a piece of steak for you, I know how to cook it to perfection. Oh my God! Think of the amount of bedtime fun you're gonna have, right? Hey JPEG, welcome. You're going to eat me? That sounds tempting. I know I'm a good-looking guy, but seriously, you need to keep that to yourselves. But thanks for coming in. Whew! God. By the way, this is exactly how I cook my salmon. Just baste it for another 2 minutes, and you have a perfectly cooked salmon. You don't even need a a non-stick pan, although it helps. Anyways, I was just complaining to Ivy about how much I despise or I hate the cold or winter time, right? So I was going to my childhood memories because I grew up in an area where there's not really much of a winter, okay? So when I got here, the question, well, where was I? Oh, right, Santa Claus. Santa Claus kind of creeped me out, but eventually I got caught up in it, you know? I got caught up in the mystique of Santa Claus. But either way, it's one thing when think about it. It might be something good when you're a kid because Santa Claus leaves presents, ha ha ha. So unless, I don't know, Santa starts doing giving out adult toys, I don't see any adults like believing in Santa Claus. Just saying. But if you think about it another way, it's that, how do I say it? When it's winter time, you can enjoy the hot cocoa. There are some good things about winter, but come on, a hot day with nice old watermelon, maybe some cold bubble tea, nice cold beer. I don't know. It just sounds a lot more tempting to me than being in the winter time. Plus, during the winter, when did I start hating winter? I believe I told this story before, but I'll elaborate. If you guys didn't know, I used to be in the military, if you didn't know. And what happened was at near the end of my training, it's called basic training, right? You have to go through basic training to get into the military. What happened was that we had to do something called FTX, which is field training exercise. What happened was that it was in the state of Missouri, in a camp called Fort Leonard Wood. If you guys have been in the army, then you'll probably know where it is. Basically, we had to camp out in the middle of the woods during the winter time. Around, I think it was around January. Yeah, it was rough, and I hated it. I'm not talking about just that one time, okay? It was the entire basic training of my entire time. I start there when I was in October, and that was when the weather was kind of nice, around 60 degrees. And then when November came, it starts to get miserable. I don't know how many of you guys ever been to Missouri, but the weather there has an awful sense of humor. What I mean by that is that for some reason it doesn't just snow. Snow is not enough. No, it's constantly raining. And I don't mean like it does. I don't. If it's on a good day, the weather is like fine. But most of the time, the weather in Missouri, it's so humid, like those misty rains, right? And it's cold and it's windy. So it doesn't really snow, but it's really windy and it's chilling and it sucked balls. And on the occasion, we get flash flood warnings. So I absolutely detested my time during there, and my anger towards winter only grew. Because in all honesty, the training and all that stuff with the drill sergeants yelling at us, the 25-mile hike, wasn't that bad. I can take it. But my God, I can tell you that every one of my buddies over there, to say that the weather is probably the worst thing about that entire phase. The only thing so every day we were presented with like everything is like also always wet and dreary, kind of like Seattle if you've ever been there. Except you don't get to have fun with the hippies and smoke crack with the homeless guy next on the street. And because we got all these equipments like M16, if you don't know what that is, it's basically rifles. You got to carry all this crap over you. And the one thing about Army equipment is that they don't exactly, their functionality is not to keep you warm, nor is it to keep you comfortable. It's to keep you alive. So hey, if you get frostbite, as long as you didn't die, it did its job. So so my time there was absolutely the worst, and I hated it. But it all came to an abrupt end when we did the FTX exercise, where we actually, it was actually like a big final test or whatever you want to call it. And we basically go up to the mountain, literally the mountain, and we had to camp there for about a week. So I know some of you guys already know that how much I hate camping, but imagine camping when the outside temperature is like 20-25 degrees, and that's without the wind chills. That's how miserable I was over there. Just thinking about it brings me back memories. I remember it was pretty much hell for me, and I remember just like passing out. Not literally passing out, but like zoning out. Zoning out is a better word for it. Every time my drill sergeant would like smoke us, if you don't know what smoking means, is basically punishing us. Push-ups, get on the ground, and start doing butterflies or whatever, basically torturing us. I was actually not. I was basically zoned out during that time. It was just biting my tongue, like I hate my life. I hate my life. Oh God, it was so bad. And what's makes it worse is that because we were in the mountains, right? We didn't have a cafeteria, obviously. So we had to eat something called field chow. If you don't know what field chow is, it's basically somebody cooks in a facility and it's crap food. I mean, canned beans, canned corn, whatever you want to call it. All the food sucks ass. But what makes it extra suck is that because my name is, they go by alphabetical orders, right? My name A to Z. My name is near the end of the Z alphabet, I always get called last. So by the time I get my food would be bloody cold, and I would get the least portion because it's mostly taken by everyone else. It sucks. Hey, Soho, welcome. It's been a while, huh? Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I know this is not usually what you were expecting, which is playing games, but I'll be back to playing games soon, hopefully soon. I just got to realize that recent event has actually made me a little bit uncomfortable. You know, playing some games. I just didn't have the drive to play right as it's not because of you guys. It's recent tragedy event, and I've already talked about it on stream. I made a video about it, and just keep talking about it just makes me it's just gonna make me upset. But anyways, thanks for coming in, guys. Anyways, yeah, right now it's just me cooking and bitching about winter, I guess. Which I don't mind. Surprisingly enough, this is actually my element. Like I told JPEG and everyone else in previous stream that if it's just cooking, I'm in my element. Unlike when I'm playing Elden Ring or FNAF or whatever. I can talk all day long while cooking. Feel free to shoot me any topic you want, guys. Maybe it's school, maybe some advice, maybe something happened to you. I can yap all day long. It's what I do, by the way. It's what I do. Because when you're in real estate, you're a salesman. You have to get people to like you. You like salmon? Well, that's good. I love salmon. Fuck. Sticking a little bit. Be easier if it was a non-stick pan. But it's fine. As long as the skin is crispy. Okay, it teared a little bit. It teared a little bit, but it's crispy. And as long as the salmon is cooked, it's fine. It's cooked, don't worry. Alright, now I'm just gonna cook the garlic and then turn this into a medley of vegetable with salmon. That's it. Like I said, all of my these aren't exactly recipes. They're all mainly just, you know, cooking whatever you have in the fridge. And by the way, as I said, tomorrow there's a chance that I might not stream, not because I don't want to, believe me. It's because that tomorrow we're gonna in Texas we're gonna experience another cold front. A few years ago, what happened was that actually maybe a year or two ago, yeah, we actually lost power for like a week or something like that. So I couldn't stream, so I can't guarantee whether or not my my electrical service is gonna stay up. Unfortunately, guys, so just be on the lookout. If I don't stream, it's because of that, not because I didn't want to or because I forgot. Okay. All right, what's next? I'm gonna cook the peppers next. Let's go. The sound of cooking. The sound of cooking. I feel like I'm cooking for you guys sometimes, except I get to eat and you guys don't, which makes it extra special for me. Some people call cooking as somewhat of an ASMR, like a background noise, and I can see why. Hearing the sizzling sound of vegetables and whatever it is that you're cooking. Hell. Hey, what's up, Pancake? Welcome. It's really cold in Texas. Oh, tell me about it. Yes, so it's definitely cold as hell. Alright, turn off this, and then we just need to cook this. The cucumber is heated up, and then we're good. Yeah, if you don't know, in Texas, if it starts snowing, everything gets shut down. And I mean everything. School, work, whatever. Hell, my mom's not going to work tomorrow also. Her boss already informed her that they're going to be working from home from work for the next 2 days. And then hopefully the snow clears up, or the potential ice clears up by the end of the weekend. You might think, well, isn't it fun that you guys, don't have to go to work? No, because being snowed in sucks. What is? I mean, we're basically here in the house, have nothing to do. Okay, there's nothing to do, and what's worse is that if you run out of power, you're kind of screwed. Hopefully, you have good neighbors and they'll take you in, because if you don't have heater or enough blankets, oh, it's gonna get really, really frosty. We're in Texas. We're not in Canada, by the way. So because of that, we're not exactly properly equipped if there's like a heavy snow or a heavy ice. Okay, we're not sustained for that, and we don't really need it. It's not like a day. It happens. We don't have enough. It's not like Florida, where every year is like, yeah, there's a hurricane, whatever. You know, we don't have a cold insurance or anything like that. You won! Congrats, Ivy. Nice. Alright, there you go. Other than this part, the salmon cracked, but skin's still crispy. Alright, that was actually pretty good. Yeah, it's just salmon with a medley of vegetables. I should have cooked this with a non-stick pan, but I don't have one. Well, not that one that doesn't work here, though. So, other than that, this salmon is cooked perfectly. Anyways, how's everyone else's doing? Yeah, again, like I say, if you guys liked winter, good on you. You guys might like the lights and the snow, but I always say, what's the point? Because doesn't the snow and everything else get really, really boring after a while? The only good thing about snow is that you can probably go skiing, snowboarding, or dog sledding. That's it. But that's only if you're in a certain part of the country, like maybe Maine or something, where you're close to Canada and there's enough snow. Or here in Texas, it gets bloody cold. But my God, it does not. We don't have like 6 inches of the snow. Okay, if we do, we're screwed. Okay, it's going to be two weeks of non-activity. Yo, Convict, how's it going? Oh my God, Riley, is that right, Ivy? Convict, it's been a while, hasn't it? Good to see ya. Alright, hope you guys can see this. Perfectly cooked salmon. Tender, juicy, perfect salmon. This is one of my favorite meals. No waste. Just use the oil from the frying, and then the juice from the fish and the vegetables turns into a sauce. So good. You guys can cook this too. You guys saw how easy it is. All you guys have to do is just use a non-stick pan. I don't have one, but this turned out pretty well, even for a stainless steel. Other than that, if I had a non-stick, this would be perfect. It's just a little bit crispy. Should have been a little bit more crispier though. Yeah. Trust me, if you guys can cook this for your parents, they'll probably even pay you. Maybe they even let you move back into their house. And it's healthy. No bueno. Good bueno. One of the things I want to show you guys how to make is actually birria tacos, like a street taco. I perfected my own recipe a month ago, but I can't cook it right now because it's very, very smoky. Like lots of literal smoke comes out of the pan when I fry the taco shells. I have to open the door because I don't have a ventilation up here, so it like stinks up the entire house. And I can't open the door right now because it's freaking cold. So eventually, when I get the chance, when it gets warmer, okay, I'll show you guys how to cook some really delicious tacos. And believe it or not, it's actually really simple to make. I have a restaurant here near my house that makes really good birria tacos. And what happens when I realize is that I go to that place at least once a week because I can't get enough with that dipping birria taco with the consomme and stuff. Mwah. And then before I realized, like, oh my God, I spent like $50 here a month or almost. So I was like, you know what? I'll make it myself. And I did. So good. Some of you told me to make pizzas. Pizza's not hard, but I don't have a pizza oven. And the only pizzas that I really eat are Neapolitan style, which is like true Italian. I'm not a fan of Domino's, or I'm not even a fan of like American pizzas. New York is okay, but I like it's the crust that gets me, you know? I really need that Italian style wood brick oven with the charred stuff, and because those pizzas, they don't taste heavy. Some people told me to try Detroit style pizzas, and to me, if you like it, great, but I think Detroit style pizzas represents everything that is like a little bit wrong with how American food culture takes other people's food and turn it into something a little bit too extra. Because deep dish pizza, giant dough, giant sauce, a ridiculous amount of cheese. You might as well say it's a lasagna, but instead of like pasta sheets, it's a very thick dough. I didn't hate it. I was like, oh man, I can only eat like a slice of this, and I just didn't. It feels heavy, you know. But that's just me. 400. I better find your heart. Well, my heart is right here, and it is a little bit broken right now due to the loss of my little girl. But it's still here. It's healing, and thanks to you guys who are watching or will be watching, talking with me, chatting with me. That is healing me. So thank you. Just give me a little bit extra time, okay? Your boy Nut here. I found out that I'm a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more attached than I thought. Maybe there's a reason why I don't exactly connect with my friends on a weekly basis. Believe me, a lot of my closest friends, I don't talk to them for like months on end. I probably send them a text or maybe a quick call. It's the same with them, like once every 2-3 months. Yet at the same time, when I do see them or when they come back home or I go to their anniversary or whatever, I can talk to them with no moment of awkwardness. It's like, oh hey, I haven't seen you in a while, you know, how's it going, blah blah blah. No, as soon as I see them, I give them a hug and it's like, hey, how's it going, what's up. There's no awkwardness whatsoever, and I think those are the kind of friends you trust the most. But maybe I'm just being naive. Maybe I'm being cheesy right here. I mean, I haven't seen some of my friends in a long time, like seeing them. Yeah, when they came home, like almost 2 months ago, one of them came back. He was in the Naval Academy. I saw his kid. I saw his wife. I was at their wedding like 4 or 5 years ago. So we haven't seen each other in a long time. So we had a lot of catching up, and we had a great conversation. And to me, these are the kind of conversation I like. Because if you see someone, in my opinion, on a weekly basis, right, how much can you really talk about, right? How's your kid? How's school going? How's your job going? Oh, same old. Because most of the time, most common days are quite insignificant. I mean, if it's changing every single day, every single week, you're basically living the Kardashian life. You're basically living a very dramatic life, and that's probably not good for you. Just saying. It's like one week it's like, oh, I had a girlfriend. Next week I had a boyfriend. I was like, what the heck, right? Oh, did I know it was your birthday? I did not. 400? It's your birthday? All right. Can I get a happy birthday song? First of all, happy birthday to you. I'm not gonna ask your age, but happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear 400. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Hope you have a wonderful birthday, my man. Girl, whoever. I don't know your gender. My heart resides in crispy crust pizza crust. See, that's the thing, like crispy crust. I've seen so many variations of pizza where some people use like donuts as the dough, or even like puff pastry as the dough. You don't mess with the classics, man. There's a reason for it. There's a reason I can eat like 4 or 5 pizzas, Italian Neapolitan style pizzas. You know why? Because it's not heavy. The sauce, it's just pure simplicity. The dough is light yet crispy, but not, and then it's got a bit of a chew to it. And then you get the homemade sauce, a little bit of mozzarella, fresh basil. Nothing beats it. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically margherita pizza. It's my favorite pizza. Margherita beats, I don't care if it's pepperoni or mushroom or whatever the hell crazy pizza or sushi pizza, whatever. That's abomination. Yeah, crispiness, a little bit of chewiness, and lightness. That's what I really, really love. It's just three things: sauce, crust, and fresh cheese. Fresh mozzarella. Can't beat it. I believe the best pizza that in the U.S. is a place in Brooklyn. I think it was called Lucali. Again, the guy is not an Italian. He just knows how to make damn good pizza. And I've never had it because I've never been to New York or Brooklyn. And I hear the sound of the pizza. It's like, my friend actually been there. He's like, yo, I would wait like 5 hours for that pizza. And he told me it's like the lightest crust ever. The crust complements the sauce, complements the cheese, complements the crust. You get an amalgamation of balance and holiness. Where other pizzas is like, oh, the dough or extra cheese or whatever. Sorry. It throws everything off balance. And when you add too much stuff, you add peppers, you add some salsa, you add steak, egg, double, triple cheese. I've even seen some people put honey in there. I was like, Jesus effing Christ, man. And even dipping it in ranch. Woo! Like the Italian would say, I was like, oh my God. You might as well put water in cappuccino, right? Have I played Forgotten Memories on Roblox? No, I have not. Sorry. I've been out of the gaming scene for the past, I would say almost a month. But don't worry, I'll be coming back to playing games soon. Just had to, again, give me a little bit of time. Yes, I have friends who actually dip freaking pizzas into ranch or even buffalo dressings. I find that absolutely disgusting. That you might as well take fried rice, fried rice, and just put put cheese on fried rice. It's like, why mess with that? Why mess with the classics, man? You're just doing it to either piss me off or just because you think you're so goddamn smart. But maybe it is because I've seen American pizzas. I mean, if you guys tasted Domino's or Little Caesars pizzas, they kind of suck. They are disgusting. Okay, I would only eat one slice, and that's only if I'm very, very hungry and if I'm like at a work party. Otherwise, I don't touch those stuff. And maybe, just maybe, because you need to dip it in ranch because it tastes absolutely disgusting. And why not make it even more disgusting? Ranch on pizza. I'd rather put pineapple on pizza than put it on ranch. Just saying. Huh. Doesn't even have to be salmon, by the way. It can be chicken breast or pork chop. Steak works as well. Just take the oil that's left over and mix it with the vegetables. That's it. It's not a recipe, guys. It's just simple cooking, simple, proper cooking. Don't overcook stuff and don't undercook stuff. Pepper on pizza, if you're talking about these kind of pepper, no, I don't like it. I don't like pepper on pizza, okay? I don't like mushroom on pizza. I don't really understand it because the crust is one thing. And then the next most important thing on the crust is the most important thing, followed by the sauce. And then, of course, you got cheese. You got to understand, what does pepper complement? It tastes sweet. It's got the peppery flavor in there. What does it complement? Right? Soy sauce, it complements like noodles or I mean like if you have a Big Mac, right? Usually it tastes really good if you eat it, drink what complements a Big Mac? Fries and soda. It could be Sprite, it could be Dr. Pepper, it could be Coca-Cola, whatever. but they all complement one over the other. Pepper, like what does it complement on top of a pizza? Does it complement the tomato sauce? I don't think so. The tomato sauce is already sweet and sour, so you're adding something that's redundant. Okay, you can add maybe as into the sauce, maybe, sure, but I don't see just adding it on top adds anything. If you don't know the classic basil and tomato mozzarella, those are pretty much classic combination. Madeira, mushroom, these are ketchup and fries are like holy heaven, man and woman, like holy, like they're just a marriage. Okay, it's the yin and the yang. One doesn't benefits from the other. So if you add something like pepper or mushrooms, like what the hell is that supposed to do? And if you think about adding steak on top of pizza, I ask you, do you like eating steaks? When you eat steaks, like there's a sauce, there's some carrots, or maybe some creamed spinach, right? Have you ever seen anyone like, oh, I'm gonna cut the steak. Can I get some bread with it? Like, what do you mean bread? Does the bread complement the steak? The bread dries up the steak. So, it's just common sense. Unless you're one of those hippie chefs like, oh, maybe I can put, Thai curry with, spaghetti and salmon or something. Like, I was like, oh my god. Unless you're going for like a Michelin star where you whack with these wacky ass combinations that no one's ever seen. No, don't do those things. You want a proper common sense cooking, okay? But that's just me. Can you stay? I didn't ask you to leave. Of course you can stay. It's your birthday after all. I wish I could make you a cake, but this is all I can make. Just like like tomatoes, bacon, and lettuce. BLT sandwich, classic. Why do you need to add more stuff in there and then call it something else, right? I was gonna ask you guys, maybe I should put my dogs on stream as well. I was thinking like, have you ever seen those harnesses where some people carry their dogs on their back? If it's a small dog, you carry them in your front. If it's a big dog, you carry them on your back. I want to get your opinion of, should I start putting my dogs on my back and, we can play games together or cook together? Just a thought, Something to make the stream a little bit extra interesting. But yes, I will be playing Roblox and other games soon. Whenever the next Switch comes out, feel free to guess, because I've seen too many freaking articles guessing like, oh, it's going to be next month. Oh, it's going to be in March. Just name it. I'm going to assume that it's probably at the earliest summer of this year. Maybe. Or it's either summer or holiday 2025. Because they need like a period of time to hype it up and then showing it off and then showing off the extra games in order to, fan the flames of people pre-ordering it. As of right now, I have not regretted buying any Nintendo system. My first Nintendo system was the GameCube. Never had Super Nintendo, never had N64. But GameCube, Wii U, and the Switch. I mean, the Wii U is like, maybe. But overall, I have never really regretted buying any of those systems. Where compared to the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and now even PlayStation 5, I really regret buying the PS5. I bought it when it was. I didn't get it from Scalper. I got it for. I got it with the. It was $700 with the God of War, Ragnarok one. So it was like it was a bundle. So it was from Sony. So I didn't get ripped off. But I do feel ripped off because right now, after buying a PC, I barely use it. The only game I played on it was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is coming out in like in a week or so for PC. And it would have been like way better, I think, because I would have much better power. I think it would have ran a lot better. Crap. So I really should have waited. I really regret buying the PlayStation 5. And so back to my point is that the reason I've never really regret buying a Nintendo is the games. Okay, I don't know any exclusives right now that on PlayStation or even Xbox that really, entices me. I haven't had an Xbox since 360. I never bought an Xbox One or the Scarlet, whatever the hell it is called now, because, well, I don't play that many shooters. I play mostly RPG and action games, which I find there's a lot more of it on, on PlayStation. But after playing something like Elden Ring, which runs a lot smoother on freaking PC, I assume, hopefully, yeah, I guess I kind of really regret it. Playing on 60 FPS, which is a minimum standard for PC, has kind of like, I don't know, spoiled me. Because whenever I play a game that's like less than 60 FPS, especially an action game, I get kind of bummed out. I was like, oh man, it's like having a Ferrari, but you can only go 40 miles an hour. Like, oh god, here we go. That would be cool. When you try Roblox, you should play Block, Tales, or Fighting. Trust me, I would. I would. You just gotta give me some extra time, right? You just have to realize I'm still very new to all this. Not just Roblox. I've never played Minecraft too, by the way. It's that these games that are interconnected with people on the internet. I remember when it first started. I'm talking about Halo 2 and the original Xbox Live and the original Call of Duty. I was there, okay, from the very beginning, but I only stopped it because of Call of Duty 2 Modern Warfare, the COD lobby. I just could not stand the incessant cussing and this and the yo mama jokes or whatever. Whatever. I was a kid back then. I was just like, oh my god, this is so miserable. People are screaming at me. I literally had people screeching into my. I was like, F this, I'm out. So that was like probably that was when I cut my multiplayer games out of my life until when I started playing Roblox when I started streaming. Otherwise, I would have never even touched Roblox or any of these places, these stuff. So when I am ready, especially when the Switch 2 is ready, I definitely want to play more games with you guys. Like I play Fall Guys. I want to play whatchamacallit. I would probably get into Minecraft. I would try and get into Minecraft, and of course, I'll definitely play GTA 6. Maybe that in like 6 years probably. And of course, I'm not playing Call of Duty. I'm not playing Fortnite. Okay, I'm not doing those games. But I can definitely play something like Super Smash or Mario Kart. Something a little bit more fun, I am an old guy. I'm 34. I'm not getting any younger, and by streaming standards, I'm pretty much an ancient. Like, I'm probably way out of the age limit for most streamers. Man. You posted on community? Thanks, 400. Hey, Cookie, welcome. How's it going? How are you and Record doing? Man, it's good to see you. Again, sorry if I didn't, communicate on Discord or whatever, but yeah, it's been a tough 3 weeks for me. And instead of playing games, I'm more or less just sulking. And then I only started streaming like 4 or 5 days ago. And I'm really just doing cooking and streaming, talking with you guys as a form of therapy for myself. Because one, you guys are free. I don't have to pay you guys to do it. But yeah, just to get out of my system, to deal with the recent loss of my little girl. I just kind of really lost my my passion. I wouldn't say passion, but I couldn't find any joy of playing games for these few weeks. I hope you guys can understand that. Lego Fortnite is dope. Well, that's a survival game. I meant like if I'm gonna play those games seriously, and I'm gonna have to invest a little bit extra time into it, okay? Because I started like doing a bunch of stuff, and eventually I started doing more horror related stuff, mostly single player. But I realize right now that maybe I need to, switch up, mix up my streams a little bit. One night maybe like cooking, other nights could be single player horror games. Other nights could be like, fun interactive with viewers and a chat with chat. So just give me a little extra time. Free spin. Hey, welcome back. I am back. Yes, I am. Sorry, I've been away for a while, due to a tragic event. Really, it's the first tragedy that I've experienced that really made me lose my appetite. If you guys didn't know, I couldn't eat for like I didn't eat for 3 days after the incident. So, yeah. Congrats, Ivy. Good job. High, 2 thumbs up on defeating the boss. And we still got Deltarune and whatever games in there. It's just like, as I said, a lot of these AAA games really doesn't interest me as much. Like Koki, I play the what is that game? God damn, Helldivers. That's right. I had fun. It was $60, right? But right now, I heard that game is having some sort of issue, and not as many people play anymore. Doesn't mean it's a bad game, but I guess this is how a lot of these companies get you. You buy, you spend $60 on a AAA game, and then you spend another $60. None of these games I played to me personally, had that big of a lasting impact, because I'm one of those people who, if I love a game, I will go to GameStop or Walmart, line up and get a physical copy, and then play on the disc, and I will put it on the shelf. I still have my old PlayStation 3 games. I would have still had my PS2 game if it wasn't for my friend who asked if he can have my PS2. I gave him all that, but it's like with me and books. When I finish a book, I take it as a sign of like an award, because when you open a book, there's like the book gets wrinkled, right, on the backside. So then after I finish the book, I put it on the shelf as a sign of like an accomplishment, saying I finished this book. Okay, as though not to anyone see, but more or less for myself. The same thing with games, where I have enough respect for the game and love for the game that I don't mind paying for the physical copy, and I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to put it in my case, and as a display. It's like, this is one of the games I really love. Right now, if you look at my collection, my PS2 was like this, PS3 is like this, PS4 is like this, PS5 is like this, like 4 games, 3 or 4 games. So there's not enough games to entice me. I find this whole console war so stupid, yet it's so ingenious at the same time, because it's, these guys are making money off of it. So, but right now, games are getting so expensive to make, and they take so long. And a lot of these open world games I just really don't like, because all it is just run around, scan this, collect that, kill this, and then activate this tower thing. boring. So at least with there's some I could tolerate, but most of them right now I think I had my fill with open world after Assassin's Creed. Maybe. Like, if Zelda wasn't so fun with their freaking, the puzzles and stuff, then I would have dropped Zelda. How come you can't eat? I couldn't eat for the first 3 days because of I'll just tell you guys right now. It was December 14th, so it's not even a month ago that my little girl Ellie, she's my little Bichon, she's my little dog. She's only 2 years old. She passed away, but not because she had cancer or anything. But in my neighborhood, an old lady's, like a 70-year-old lady, she let her pit Doberman mix out of her door, and my mom was walking my 2 dogs outside, and that dog attacked Ellie and killed her. I was not at the scene. Otherwise, maybe I could have done something, but my mom's in her 60s, so there was nothing she could do. There was only 2 bystanders, and thank God for that, because that dog would have attacked my mom. I should have armed her with a pepper spray, but every day I still think about Ellie, and I was like, maybe I could have. Like, is there something I could have done? Maybe I if I prepare my mom or something like that, maybe she would be alive. I love that girl. I love that little dog because out of all the dogs I've had, she's the only people pleaser dog that I had. And when she passed, I just felt so numb, and I had her buried in my front yard. So every time I go out the door and come back, I see her. So yeah. Hey, Chef Old Wolf on first chat on Twitch. So thanks for the shout out. Happy 2025 to you too. So yeah, I know people are gonna keep asking, and the easy way that I was like, why do you keep talking about it? One is to inform you guys, but two, I don't want to shy away from it. I take full responsibility for for my inaction, and if I just shut myself off or don't want to talk about it, then technically it's not the right way to move on. So yeah, does it bother me? Of course. And right now, I just found out yesterday that my other dog, Snow, he's like 13, by the way, 12, 13. Great Pyrenees, big dog. I think he has oral cancer. So at best, I probably will have only a year left with him. So, yeah. If you guys ever think about owning a pet, and just I'm not telling you not to own one, but the day that you open your heart, your arms to a pet, I'm just gonna tell you that be ready to accept that there's gonna be a day. It could be soon, it could be late. That there's gonna be a very painful day waiting for you. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. Hey Wolf, welcome back. You're always coming in as soon as about. Yeah. No worries. Whether they're alts or not, it doesn't really matter. I don't mind it. Don't delete their messages. As long as people talk, I don't mind it. But anyways, Kogi came back, and all that stuff. Motherboard's intact. Congratulations. Glad you didn't have to, sell your liver to get a new motherboard in. Congrats. Anyways, yeah. I might not be able to stream tomorrow or the next day. Because there's a cold front coming in. Again, I'm in Texas. You saw what happened last time. There was a cold front. We ran out of power. There was nothing we could do. So yeah. Except it wasn't in the winter. I lost power. I don't remember whether was it in the winter or was it in the summer? It was during the summer. That's right. It was during the summer. But we do lose power here, depending on the storm, how bad the storm is. Okay. Ouch. Is that right? Nice, good one, Wolf. Maybe you should have saved up for the new NVIDIA graphics card or something like that. It's only $550. It's still expensive as hell, though. Yes, yeah, Ivy. Yeah, that's what happened. So, yeah, if I don't talk about it, then I'll be shutting myself down, and I know that's not a healthy way to deal with trauma. So that's why if people ask, I'll answer, even if it's quite painful. But right now, I know now, and my mom knows now that always carry a pepper spray. And for those of you who has a dog, especially small dogs, always carry a pepper spray. Maybe even switchblade, or if you want to go to that extreme, but pepper spray, because you never know. Could be a coyote, because I also had a friend whose little dog got taken by a coyote. I just never believed it would happen to me and by a unleashed, untrained dog. But it did. And I promise that I will never, ever let this happen again. 5060 is going to destroy your PC. Well, get yourself a new PC then. PC guys say I need at least new motherboard to use 40 series and 50 series. That sounds about 2.5k, and that's just for the motherboard and the PC. There's also fans and the power, right? And what is it? The chip, whatever you want to call it. Jesus, it's probably gonna run up to like 5-6k. Damn. Hey Shuyan, how's it going? Good to see ya. I was just cooking some salmon tonight, and then just put up after I finished cooking the salmon, corn, garlic, tomatoes, cucumbers, and orange pepper. That's it. Very very delicious. Salt and pepper to season, and it's perfect. I made this for my mom earlier, and she pretty much devoured it. I know it's good because, well, one, she never compliments me. Okay, she never tells me like, "Good job, this is delicious," but I can tell because she finishes it. She's like 110 pound, 115 pound, 60-year-old woman. So when she finishes a food, it means that she liked it. Okay. Gaming is an expensive hobby. Well, this is why I'm cooking right now. Cooking is a lot less expensive, right? This only cost me what, $3 because of salmon. But yeah. You're probably the only Asian who doesn't eat fish. How dare you, man? Are you from... Well, I'm not going to ask you where you are, but... unless you're in the mainlander, okay? So you're definitely not Japanese, but there's no Japanese will ever say they don't eat fish. That's crazy. So unless you're maybe in the middle of China, like Xinjiang or something like that, in a mountainous region, then maybe I understand. But godly, you don't eat fish. Salmon, it's like filet mignon, except it's better because it's actually tasty. Salmon is a beautiful piece of fish. Now, I live in Texas, obviously. I don't live near the water, so we obviously don't get the freshest salmon. But my God, if I ever get to go travel, if I ever go to either Japan or Ireland or Great Britain, my mom been to Ireland and Great Britain, and she said like they produce some of the finest like products like cheese, dairy, lamb, chicken, whatever. And what's different is that here, I think here like in Texas we feed them like hay or something like that. Over there, they actually let them roam around and like eat grass. And she said she was so, like she could literally lay out, like sleep on that grass because it's so soft and it's thin. And she could even like taste some. I was like, it tastes a little bit sweet. So when she said that, I was like, oh man, the best thing that she said she had over there was like either the cheese or the milk. Because the milk that you would get here in America is obviously processed. But I mean, it's processed over there too, but she said that she's got it reminds her of the back in the old days when we actually had a real cow in China, and it's got that natural sweetness of that milk and a natural fat in there that it can't be described unless you had it. It tastes so good, and the cheese there is just so different. Like cheddar cheese over there is different, blue cheese, goat cheese there is different. She couldn't get enough of that. So damn, I wish I can go over there and get some really, really good food. Right now, don't eat any raw fish most of the time, but I eat a lot of cooked fish. Hey, raw fish is fine. Cooked fish is also good. But the only cooked fish I really eat is salmon. I tried cooked tuna. It doesn't taste good at all. It's no fat. It's very lean, and it's kind of dry. But that's just me. I don't like cooked. Like, the only thing we have here is salmon anyway. And then there's a yellowtail, a whitefish. They all kind of suck. So salmon is really the only one I eat. Hey, Lex is back. Welcome back. How are you? Not the fish sticks. Those are, I mean, those are like really artificial stuff. That's like saying you like chicken because you eat chicken nuggets. It's like, well, yes and no. It just depends, right? Has anything to do with sticks? Is that a South Park joke, Wolf? Catfish? Yeah, catfish is pretty good. But it's like, when it comes to whitefish, you just gotta put a lot of butter into it, okay? A lot of butter. Because most of the whitefish are kind of tasteless. I don't know. Because it has no flavor. So, or salmon is a pretty fatty fish, okay? But man, if I ever able to retire, I would probably move to Japan just because if I can rent an apartment over there, I can literally go downstairs to 7-Eleven, get as much cheap sushi as I want. Because the cheap sushi of 7-Eleven in Japan is like almost on par with the quality of a regular sushi buffet here. And you can get it for so cheap over there. Oh god, I love sushi. To me, sushi and pho are probably my top 2, 3 food that I don't think I can ever give up. Pizza is definitely up there. Maybe sandwiches. But man, I don't think anything beats those two. I don't think anything beats those two. What about you guys? Is it burgers or, your mom's favorite homemade spaghetti or something like that? Marvel Rival Season 1 is coming out in 2 days. They're adding some of the Fantastic Four in the first half of the season, and then the rest of them most likely. I'm out of the loop for this one, man. By the time I get back, Marvel is probably gonna die just like Concord. No offense if you guys like it, okay? No offense. Now, if they made a DC one, I might be interested in it. But I know Marvel, you guys are young and probably are more of a Marvel fan because Marvel has better movies. But I've always been a DC fan. Batman, Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern. Those were my guys back in the days. It's unfortunate that all the DC movies I've seen sucks ass. And trust me, the worst superhero movie I've ever seen was Batman v Superman. It was so bad that it was the first time that I ever got angry, like pissed off at a movie, and I just want to walk out. But I didn't because I spent like $30 in there. I was like, oh man, I gotta finish this food, and I just want to see how this train wreck ends. And it just pisses me off more and more and more. I was like, and by the end of the credit rolls, I was like, I should have just walked out. I only seen like a little bit of Justice League, and that was on the flight. And I turned it off after 10-15 minutes because it was so bad that I just went to sleep. So I'm sure that movie's maybe it's worse, but I never finished it. So Concorde, the supersonic jets, yeah, pretty much. Hearthstone, the teams had communication issues. Don't we all? You know what? Eventually, there's a lot of games we can play. Eventually, Chapter 4 Poppy Playtime is coming out at the end of January. Hopefully, Deltarune Chapter 3 or 4, or is it 4 and 5? I think it was Chapter 3 and 4 will come out by the end of this year, hopefully. And then, of course, we got the new Secrets of the Mimic Five Nights at Freddy's game. I'm looking forward to Freddy's because I had mixed feelings about Security Breach, but that's because I played it on the console. I didn't even finish Ruin DLC, so I have a little bit more optimism for Freddy's. But Chapter 4, I'm a little bit hesitant because I only seen 2 trailers, and that's when I was on stream with you guys. I've seen the one with Lambie. I forgot his name. I just call him Lambie because it was a lamb, right? With the afro. And then the other one was like some kind of sunflower lion, like one of those carnivorous plants. But I did not see anything afterwards. I did not look at anything. I looked at the day when the second trailer dropped. I think it was January 30th or something like that. And I'll be playing it when it comes out. However, I don't have much high hopes for it because the monsters aren't exactly impressing me. Because in Chapter 1 you got Poppy, or excuse me, Huggy Wuggy. Chapter 2 you got Milfy Longlegs, and then Chapter 3 you got Catnap. Chapter 3 was such a roller coaster ride. I was like, oh man, how are they gonna top Catnap? And then I've only seen Lambie and the flower. Sure, it's kind of scary, but like, I don't think they're gonna be the final big boss or the mascot boss of that chapter. But I'm pessimistic. Plus, I don't know the timeline between Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 because Chapter 3 was long. So how long is this chapter? And yeah, that's just my feeling. I hope I'm proven wrong on both of them. As in Freddy's Secrets of the Mimic is really good, and I'm hoping Chapter 4 is even better than Chapter 3. I'm hoping for the best. But I'm just keeping I'm more or less more realistic, and I'd rather be more pessimistic than being optimistic. I do not pre-order games, period. no matter what it is, okay? At best right now, I would just put it on the wish list on Steam. Other than that, I don't put up money, period. But if it's chapter 4, it better be like $15 or less, because I thought $15 is like, that's probably the limit. Maybe 3-4 hours of gameplay, that'd be good. I don't want it to stretch. I don't want it to the story to go on for too long. I'm hoping that it maybe ends in chapter 5 or 6. If they want to add DLCs to it, maybe, you know, expand the story a little bit. But I want them to finish up. So yeah. Still asking you to hang out, start playing third-person shooters, please. When I have time, I guess. You know, you gotta realize right now I gotta go out and make some money. If you guys didn't know, I was working on a deal. I was about to close a deal at the end of this month, and that deal did not fall through. So I was supposed to get paid at the end of the month for closing on the house, but unfortunately, you know, there were some issues with the house, so we had to back out. So that's the reality of real estate. I'm sorry. Just when you think you're about to get paid, nope. And this has been going on for 3 months now. It is what it is, okay? Second FNAF movie. I still have not seen the first FNAF movie, but I will see it as soon as I get a release date or when the release date for the second movie comes closer. I've never seen any clips from it other than like few screenshots. I know the guy from the main character is like the guy from, what is that movie called? Mockingjay, whatever it called? The Hunger Games, that's right. There's that one actor, but that's it. I don't know anything else about it. Sometimes movies are funny bad or actually funny. The last movie that really made me funny, that really made me laugh, now that I think about it, like genuinely laugh, because right now with the culture of America, you can't offend anyone. The last 3 movies, I don't know if you guys heard of them. Wedding Crashers is one that I really love. This really bad movie that's really on purpose. It's called Kung Pao Enter the Fist. I think the guy is the actor and the director is the same guy who made SpongeBob. Bob Odenkirk, I think it was named. That was the last movie that, I mean, other movies made me laugh, but Kung Pao Enter the Fist, it was basically a spoof movie of bad CGI on purpose of making fun of kung fu stuff. That was the movie that made me and my friends just bust out laughing for, I don't even remember, but I remember like being on the ground and I could barely breathe. That was like the longest, I still have fond memories of it. It was like the longest, most hilarious laugh I've ever had. The Bruce Almighty is also another one. Not Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler movies. I think it was like when he inherits $1 billion or something like that. Like, and then there's also the scary spoof movies like Scary Movie 1, 2, and 3, and then there's 4. Like those are the comedy movies that I grew up with. Right now, I really don't even know if there's any sort of these comedy movies. There's rom-com, there's horror, and there's the superhero movies, and then there's some Oscar-worthy ones. But I haven't seen like a super comedic movie that's like go nuts, you know? Because all the movies that I've mentioned that made me laugh are like based on stereotypes, and it's gonna offend people. But back in the days, we didn't care, right? But right now, with the way the culture has been, not so sure if those movies would. I'm sure people would love it, but people wouldn't promote it. You know what I mean? But yeah. FNAF movie is free on Prime. Well, I'm too poor to afford Prime, okay? Liana Flores. What is that? Huh. I don't know what that is. Maybe I should look it up or something. But anyways, yeah. Oh man, today is actually this is actually a good stream. I made something simple, barely need to pay any attention to it, and you guys have been an excellent therapist. I would say. Yeah, I don't have Prime. Okay, I pay for one thing here on a monthly basis, which is the internet, gas, And right now I just went back to my old gym. So I'm kind of, and then on top of it, if I potentially buy any sort of like salmon or I need to buy any games, then yeah, I need to pay for it. But yes, it seems like I will be more or less needing to play games with you guys, which I don't mind. If it's Roblox, I'll do Roblox. But I'm hoping that maybe the next Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, assuming that is what it's going to be called, will have a better multiplayer session. Because when you think of multiplayer, it's usually shooters, right? Or fighting games, mostly those two. But yeah, Fall Guys is like one of those wacky ones that's pretty fun to play. There's only 4 players. But yeah, I really do. But because like unlike PlayStation and Xbox, the online capability of all the Nintendo system sucks ass. There's a reason I never played Smash Online. I tried it when it was on the Wii. It sucks. I tried it on the Wii U. It sucks. Also, I tried it on. I think I didn't have it, but I tried it on my friend's. He has Nintendo Online, and it sucks also because of the lag, and I just couldn't deal with it. You know, I'm actually a very serious Super Smash player. If you want to get serious, you can play me on there. But Mario Kart, whatever, sure. If I win or lose, doesn't really matter. Well, no worries, Lex. No worries. I'm pretty much done here. But hopefully your sister, you know, can actually enjoy my stream once in a while. Not just, you know, maybe she'll just have me in the background or something. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. I had a lot of fun. Usually, cooking streams are like, what, 45 to 50 minutes? It's been over an hour, which is, again, not long for a live stream, but it's a long time it's pretty good for just a chatting session, don't you think? Thank you again. Hopefully, I will see you guys tomorrow, again, because of the snowstorm. If not, you'll know why. If I'm not here, you'll know why. Thank you very much again, and see you guys next time, okay?